Hello and welcome to Let Me Be Your Game Guide, a podcast that spends each episode delving into a mystical new video game, exploring its charms and challenges, and helping you decide if it should be next on your list. I'm your host, Emma.
I'm Rylan.
Me, Shawn.
Join us for this week's rating episode as we escape reality and enter the metaphysical. For the remainder of this episode, let me be your game guide.
I couldn't think of one.
I was waiting for
I was wondering if you can remember to do something different.
Yeah, I remembered moments before you started, and I was like, "Oh yeah, what am I gonna do?" I don't know. So
Me,
that's what I
Shawn.
got. Yeah, me, Shawn. So yeah, that worked for this time.
But here's the thing, Shawn. You can't ever use that one again.
I know. Now I gotta think of a new one. That was like
Yeah.
an easy softball, you know.
You should
Now
have saved that for a day when you were like sick as a dog and just really needed an easy one.
yeah, I
Well,
really gotta think about that for next time.
awesome. Well, the wild card's back. We
I'm
missed
back.
you for an episode.
I'm back.
Yeah. I mean, you were here. You just weren't a wild card.
Yeah, that's true.
You're just a regular guy named Shawn.
Yeah, I was just a regular Shawn guy. So
Oh, well, welcome. Welcome to the podcast.
Hello.
hello.
This is a rating episode, a part 1 episode for Figment.
Figment.
Yeah.
We played Figment per Christie's request. This is a request game.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. And if you want to request a game for us to play and rate and discuss, you can email us at letmebeyourgg@gmail.com, and we'll get into that when I plug stuff. But yeah, I'm excited to talk about it.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. It's going to be really good.
Yeah, I'm hoping that this extended period of time that we're talking about something and I'm not sitting thinking to myself, I can get the stupid Burger King song out of my head.
Oh.
Because it has been stuck in my head for 2 weeks.
Really?
Yeah.
The
The Whopper.
Whopper.
burger cheese, burger
Whopper.
cheese, burger cheese, burger cheese.
I don't know if anyone's been listening to Burger King's
They're
advertisements.
on fire right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. The more I talked about it with Hayden, the more he pointed out that it's just an insult to their customer base because they decided that the best thing to do was to just say the food name over and over again.
Is it working? Are we talking about it? Are we giving them free press right now?
Sure, but
Did I want to go to Burger King before I came here?
No, you did not.
I
Did
wanted
you?
to
I don't like Burger
because
King.
you turned me down on the pre-podcast Taco Bell.
Oh, the fries are where it's at.
Well, the
Their
last
fries
time that
slap.
we got Taco Bell before the podcast, I also got Taco Bell after the podcast because Hayden wanted it. So, yeah, I promised I would wait
Wow.
for him.
Brave to say that publicly in the podcast.
Yeah.
I ain't
Wow.
scared.
So Taco Bell, if you want to sponsor us, that's cool and stuff.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll give
Just
you my
saying.
money.
Yeah.
Burger King, on the other hand, is living rent free in my brain, but I'm not giving you any of my money.
Oh,
That's okay.
Anyways, real quick before we get into the episode, don't forget to give the podcast a follow, rate it, review it, however you want to show us love. We have a Patreon, patreon.com/letmebeyourgg, where you can view episodes early as they post sometime on Sunday. And this is a couple days before the episode posts everywhere else, and that's for the free tier. You don't even have to give us any money. Just sign up for free and you get those episodes early. You can find us on most socials as Let Me Be Your GG with no spaces. That's LetMeBeyourGG, no spaces. And we're on Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. You can also find us on TikTok as Let Me Be Your Game Guide with no spaces. As I said before, you can email us at letmebeyourgg@gmail.com. This is the best way to send in game requests. Just make sure to include game request in the subject line so it's easy for us to find.
Yeah, and do it now
Yeah.
because we got a few games. It's like towards the end of the year we might get to
Yeah.
yours. So like,
Yeah.
if you're gonna do it, I would do it.
but you can
ASAP.
be cool just like Christy if you do that.
That's true.
And have your game.
Get shouted out. Yeah, but yeah, do it now, or else it might be next year before we get to your game.
Just
So
do it now or else.
Yeah.
Or
I think
else.
it's safe to say you just stop there.
Oh man. Well, Per Christy's request, she, instead of sending in a recording of herself giving a spoiler-free description of the game, she requested that Rylan give us our spoiler-free description.
Nice. What an honor.
Yeah.
Oh, I was about to say, dang it, Christy. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Christy. I'm glad that you feel trust in me to describe this game.
Mm-hmm.
So this is when I do that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So let's hear
Here
it.
I am.
I told Rylan long before today that he was doing this. Not 5 minutes ago.
Nope. It was literally right before we started recording. So that's fine because I had a little practice earlier. Somebody said, hey, what are you guys playing right now? So I told them, I said, we're playing Figment right now. Mm-hmm. It's a short adventure game that takes place. It's kind of a metaphor because the setting is inside somebody's mind.
Yeah.
And you're playing as, I guess, kind of like a character trait of theirs, or a trait character. Maybe we can flip
Dusty.
it. Dusty is his name, and he's a little creature that represents some part of the person's mind, and you travel along to rescue the mind from some different fiends. I think they're called nightmares.
Nightmares, yeah.
And you need to venture through the different areas of the brain and sort of meet some different characters and rescue the brain from some trouble that it's having at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The whole time I was trying to figure out, I was like, what is Dusty? Like, who am I playing as? Because
I was like, what's this like raccoon thing doing in
like
here?
In like a PJ onesie running around.
Wooden sword running around everywhere, yeah.
It was quite random.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
But you'll hear about it. We'll talk about it next week.
Yeah.
Because you find out at the very end of that game what Dusty is.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Good
Brain
point.
worm.
Yep.
Yep.
Spoiler. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, well, before we get into our rating of the game, I'm just going to talk about the developers real quick. So Figment was developed by Bedtime Digital Games, and it was also published by Bedtime Digital Games. It's available on PC, Mac, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, iOS, and Android. You can play this crap anywhere.
We play this shit anywhere.
This is what happens when we record a bonus episode before.
Oh my gosh.
We're being unprofessional, guys. Pull it together.
I apologize to all my fans out there. Christy, I'm sorry. You believed in me and this is what we gave you.
Man. It was originally released September 22nd, 2017, and it is $19.99 when it is not on sale. Bedtime Digital Games was founded in 2013. I'm going to list off a handful of names that was in the credits, and I think they were mostly involved, but we will also link in the show notes the list of the full credits because I'm sure I'm going to miss someone who's like super important. I'm going to feel terrible about it, but they have quite a big team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they all seem pretty involved. I mean, they took
a lot of people
ownership
had multiple roles as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So we have Jonas Bjerreson, who is a co-founder and the project lead. Klaus Pedersen was the other co-founder and executive producer. Adriel Therese Booz Pedersen. And I hope I'm saying, I didn't look up how to say these
They're
names.
all Danish names. Yeah.
Sorry. Game concept, visual concept, really anything related to design and art. Adriel was had their name by it. This is the one that I didn't look up and I should have. Niels Højgaard Sorensen did music, songs, and lyrics. Shout out.
Yeah.
I loved it. We'll talk about it later, but and then Dion Christensen was the lead programmer. Again, there's other names. These were just the ones that I saw the most in the credits, so I pulled them out. Just wanted to give them a quick shout out, and then we'll link their crap in. I need to stop it with it.
No,
you're okay.
Viva la crap.
I was just thinking that one of the credits, when I was watching the credits, because there's a song that plays at the end that was actually really good.
Oh yeah.
But one of the guys or person's names was Stoge Snack, and I was like, that's the coolest name. So
Yeah.
shout out to Stoge.
Yeah, and I actually, I did get the names of the people who voiced the characters. So we will talk about that when we get to the characters section.
Yeah.
On Bedtime Digital Games website, they state that they are an independent video game developer based in northern Denmark. They love surreal audio and delicious visuals and are currently working on 2 secret games.
Oh,
This was pulled from their
Oh.
website, which will also be linked in the show notes. They definitely lean towards puzzle games, as all of their previous games have a puzzle aspect to them. I actually, looking at them, I want to play them all. They all look so fun and so cool.
oh,
So,
what are they?
they have Figment, of course, the one that we played. But they have a game called Back to Bed, Chronology, The Forest Quartet, and then they have Figment 2, Creed Valley, which now I really want to play because I'm interested how you make it. I don't know
Yeah,
if
I'm
it's
not
a
sure how a sequel works
Yeah.
in this case.
or maybe it's a prequel. I
Oh,
don't
that
know.
could be. Oh, that's a good call.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I own it. I'll probably.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did buy it.
Nice.
Nice.
Bought the original. So
Yeah.
But yeah, check out their other games if you're into puzzle games. I think that I just liked the look and style of it, and you'll hear more about it later. But I enjoyed Figment quite a bit, so I'll probably check out a few other of their games.
Yeah, I got Figment 2 also. It was on sale for like $5, so I picked it up.
I don't remember I remember one of you guys mentioned that. I don't remember if I bought it or not though.
Yeah, I think I bought it. I think Shawn, you mentioned it. And
Yeah.
I ended up
Yeah.
buying it. So
Figment 2 Creed Valley is what it's
Yeah.
called. So
yeah.
if you like series.
Yeah, and also in the show notes, we will link the accessibility report because there was one on the Family Gaming Database. So thank you to them. If there are things that you need to consider accessibility-wise before playing a game, you can check that out. It's linked in the show notes. Now what you've all been rating for.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's get started with our game rating.
Woohoo!
We
Yeah.
take into account general considerations such as length, challenge rating, and replayability. We also consider story and narrative topics, including plot, characters, and world building, presentation topics, including graphics, sound design, and music, gameplay topics, including content variety and mechanics, and lastly, we consider the overall value of the game.
Oh.
Yeah. So let's start in general considerations. Let's talk about length. How long did it take you guys to beat this game?
Steam said 4 hours. Not 3.9, not 4.1, but 4 hours.
Wow.
Nice. I would probably have to guess because my Steam.
Yours is a mess.
It said
All
like
your time.
30 hours. Yeah, when I got logged back
Nice.
in. That's not true. So I think between 4.5 and 5 hours, I think somewhere around there. I think 4.5 is pretty close. So
Yeah, I'm doing some rough math because I turned on the game to play one day and immediately got a call from work and had to do work, which was stupid.
yeah.
But I left the game open and running. And
yeah.
so I worked
Uh-huh.
for about an hour. So we're subtracting. That puts me at about 5
Math.
hours.
Okay.
Math.
Yeah.
So
But just to clarify, did you guys go back and get all the collectibles and stuff, extras?
I did not.
Okay, neither did
Yeah,
I. I tried to while I was playing, but I didn't go back.
Yeah, I got some achievements, but I didn't get all the memories that were out
Yeah.
there. So
yeah, so you are collecting little forgotten memories throughout this game. and-
Remembrains is what they're called.
Remembrains?
Yeah.
Oh, cute.
They look like rememballs. What is it in Harry Potter?
Remembrals?
Is that what they're remembrals?
Nope, I don't know.
What are they called? You know, the thing that Neville's got and he gets it taken by Draco?
It's a
Give it back, Draco, or I'll knock you off your broom.
yeah.
That's what he says. Warner Brothers, don't sue us.
That's how he figures out he's a seeker. I forget.
That's right.
Let me look.
Well,
Is it a remembrall?
it sounds.
Now I
that's how
don't
I'm
know.
hearing it in my
It's
head.
so much harder when you're live on a podcast.
I know.
I'm a lot more eloquent in person. Don't just go along with it.
I found all of the little memories in the first part, like the right brain. Did you find the
Remember all.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
I knew it.
Mm-hmm.
But then by the time the left brain rolled around, I missed 3. I need to go back and get 3 of them. So
Yeah, and these were as you're playing, you can kind of there's an extra little challenge in different areas or like a different path that you can't always do and get to unless you do something special.
Mhm.
yeah. So they're kind of puzzles on their own.
Yeah.
But Yeah. So I'm thinking, about 4 to 5 hours, maybe 5.5 if you wanted to go back and get everything. But it's a fairly short game.
Yeah, it is.
And it's very palatable. Like, I don't know if that's the right word. It's easy to split up. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. You can play for, I mean, I did that quite a bit where I played for a half hour, stopped, did something else, hop back on.
Yeah.
So
a lot of like the puzzles in little areas don't take too long to do. So
Yeah.
you're not going to be like, oh crap, what the hell was I in the middle of? Not at all.
Yeah.
yeah. Moving on to challenge rating, we have a scale that starts at beginner, escalates to easy, then moderate, difficult, and it tops out at expert. I set this at easy.
Yeah.
There are some puzzles that I kind of had to like really think on, but there was nothing, I didn't have to look anything up. I feel like generally if you are in like the puzzle mindset, most of it is pretty easy to figure out.
Yeah, I would agree. Like, the puzzles are not extremely difficult, which I appreciated. It wasn't like I'm banging my head for an hour trying to figure out this puzzle. It was like, sit down for a few minutes. You really look at it. They're pretty easy, pretty straightforward to accomplish. And the combat was minimal. I mean, it was there, but it wasn't a whole lot. So
yeah, I agree with what you guys are saying. And I don't think there was anything that was very challenging. Easy is where it's at for sure.
yeah.
Cool. Well, we'll just
Laid back adventure.
yeah, it is. That's a perfect way to describe it. It's
Yeah.
very laid back. Moving on to target audience. Who do you think would like this game?
Fart faces. No.
Ooh, got him.
No. I think really anybody could play this game. I mean, it's really an adventure puzzle game when you boil it all down.
Yeah.
So if there's a younger kiddo who's really into puzzle games, it would fit. The language, even though I did say fart faces, that's the most of the language there. So they're not saying any profanities or anything
Yeah, well,
like that,
I mean,
so.
I think Dusty says like hell
Oh yeah.
or something. There might even be like a crap thrown in. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
If Emma wrote the game, maybe.
Yeah,
but
probably. The ESRB rating is E10 plus
Sure.
for blood, crude humor, fantasy violence, and language.
there's blood in this game.
I think there's like, it's more like ooze. It's like purple blood.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I don't know. I know I didn't see it as blood, but
Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
even think of where that would be.
Yeah.
Interesting.
yeah, the little monsters that smash their head on the ground.
Oh.
Yeah, so I think if you liked the movie, what's that movie called? Inside Out.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
this
If
is
yeah.
very
you
Inside
liked
Out for
Inside
sure.
Out, you would like this game
Yeah. For sure.
because I liked the like inside the mind type of stuff. So
Mhm.
Yeah, this did have that vibe with like, especially when you're in the little town and you hear like you can knock on all the doors and all the
Yeah.
different personality traits.
So
Mhm.
funny.
yeah. And lastly, in our general consideration section, we're going to talk about replayability. Do you guys see yourself replaying this game?
No.
I know. I don't either.
Yeah.
It was really fun the first playthrough. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was it was short and sweet, but
Yeah.
I don't
Mhm.
I feel like I got it,
Yeah.
from playing it.
Yeah. I mean, the story doesn't change. So unless you wanted to go back and get all the collectibles, I think that's really it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I am excited to try the second one though. So
yeah, me too. I'm
Yeah.
curious how that storyline's going to play out. So,
Sure. Yeah. Cool. Well, we will just move into story and narrative, and this is the first part of our numbered rating section. We rate things from 1 to 5, 1 being the worst, 5 being the best. We're going to start with plot. What'd you guys give the plot?
This was a weird one.
I think I would give I'd give the plot a higher number than initially thought. Because if you, in the beginning, you're kind of gripped in, and then that plays through towards the end. And even, I mean, I'll talk about this graphically. Even graphically, it shows you kind of the story of what's happening, even in the background of what's going on. So
Yeah.
I would say 4. I think the story's pretty well done. Even it's not thrown right in your face. It's very subtle a lot of the time, but you're kind of getting it as you're playing. So
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I feel like for me, like I think I like the concept more than what it was, but I don't know. Maybe I don't.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like a 2 for me.
Oh, okay.
I didn't really feel like I was like super invested in the story, as far as like what was going on. You kind of have like your tasks that you're presented with, and I don't know. They weren't especially compelling to me.
Sure.
I also gave it a 4, but I liked that I felt like in the beginning you got like a slight reveal of
A
what
little
was
bit of a
going
hint,
on,
yeah.
and then breadcrumbs throughout the rest of the game, trying to put together like, okay, like whose mind is this? What is going on? And then by the end, once you get closer to the end, you're like, oh, okay, I know who this is. I know kind of what we're doing, and then
Yeah, you really get like basically there's like an event that happens that basically kicks off their adventure, an event that happens like outside of the mind.
yeah.
And so then the characters kind of get together and have a motivation.
Oh, you know, like think Osmosis Jones.
Yeah.
If you're into Osmosis Jones.
It is like
good
that
reference.
too.
Yeah.
Well
Well done.
Yep. God, now I want to watch that movie.
It's been so long since I've seen that movie.
Movie's gross.
The egg part is gross.
Yeah.
And the zip
And the
part.
zip
Oh
part.
yeah, that is.
And
Yeah.
probably other parts I can't think of right now.
Yeah. Bill Murray. That
Legend.
jokester. Yeah.
Legend.
Well, moving on to characters, I gave the characters a 4, mostly because there were a few that I just like I could not stop laughing anytime they were on the screen. I really enjoyed.
Like the first nightmare.
Yeah, you have some nightmares.
So funny.
Dusty has some really good like one-liners. But I felt like giving it a 5, and then I was like, no, there wasn't enough for it to be a 5, so I gave it a 4.
I think that I'm gonna go a little bit lower. I think I'm gonna go with 3. I thought the characters were good. I thought the voice acting was okay, but sometimes it was kind of cheesy. Like, like okay, yeah.
Oh, I liked it.
I enjoyed it, but sometimes it was like it kind of fell flat for me, and I was like, well, that's okay. So I think I'd give it a 3.
I feel like this game had a lot of aspects that felt very random to me, and I feel like the characters were some of that too. Like your protagonist is like Dusty, who's like a raccoon boy in a onesie, maybe, with like a wooden sword, and then he's like accompanied by this bird, and they're in like they're in like a very like metaphorical world, and so for me, I had trouble like I don't know, like for me, they didn't fit necessarily in the world, but I don't know what did fit. And the nightmares, I don't know. I feel like the characters maybe a 3. Some of the voice acting was I thought really good, but also I agree, Shawn, like some of it felt kind of off or random.
Yeah, I thought some of it was good too. Like there was definitely times I was laughing about whatever Dusty said or one of the nightmares said. Like there was definitely moments, but then there was like some random comments or something. And you're like, well, okay.
Yeah.
Like,
But I did appreciate like some of the character development that happened throughout the game, because like Dusty goes through quite a bit of attitude change throughout the story.
Yeah, definitely some growth from when he first starts to the end. Yeah.
Which I think is like a little bit predictable, but I think it's done well. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very gradual, even in the short time constraint. It's very gradual leading up to this change. So, yeah.
I have the cast actually for the voice acting if we wanted to talk about that real quick.
Sure. Yeah, do it. Thank you.
Dusty and Mayor Relic were voiced by
That's right.
Yeah, so Mayor Relic is like the mayor of the what is it? The
Cerebrum City.
Yeah, Cerebrum City, yeah.
They were voiced by Caddy Donnerly. Piper was voiced by Yui Hashaishi. And then the Nightmares, I don't want to give away their names quite yet. I think we'll talk about that next week, maybe.
Sure.
But the Nightmares were voiced by Klaus Flint Bjerg. I'm saying Bjerg. I'm probably saying these wrong.
You're doing your best. That's okay.
Another Nightmare was voiced by Niles, the one who was responsible for the sound design and music. And then the last Nightmare was voiced by someone named Tone. Tone.
Yeah, I noticed that as well.
Yeah. We also have a couple other voices, but those were the main. Those were the main
cast.
Yeah. So apologies for butchering all of those names.
Yeah.
But
you did your best. It's all good.
sorry. Cool. But moving on from characters, let's talk about world building. We've talked about the world quite a bit already, but what did you guys think of
I'm
the
so
world?
confused.
What?
I feel like I'm just confused by this game.
Oh.
So I guess like this world was like inside of a brain, and it was just composed of like random, like, to use your word, Emma, crap. It seemed like you're on like platforms that are like grassy, and then you have like pencil bridges that get created between things. And I wrote down actually like all the names of these places you go to. They're all very much like themed for like the brain. So you like you're in like Cerebrum City. There's the Overpass of Originality, the Gardens of Creativity, like things like that. So it's very much like on theme for like in the brain. But for me, it also just seemed like very random. Like all the environment, I don't know. I didn't get it. It didn't do it for me.
Sure.
This is very left brain of you.
Fair. That's fair. And so I think like this is another example where it's like, I kind of like the concept of what they're doing in the game, but for me, it just felt like it was very random. Like a lot of the elements that made up the world were just kind of like pulled out of Staples, the store. Staples.
How many of the memories did you get?
I don't know. I got over half of them.
Okay. I noticed that a lot of the aspects of the atmosphere coincided with some of those memories.
Good. Okay.
So I would say for like the right brain, there is a memory that has to do with music, but then also there are memories that kind of hint at why that certain nightmare is in this area. So for me, and what was your rating for world building before I steal this from you?
2.5.
2.5. That's understandable. I can get behind that.
Yeah.
But I rated it a little higher. I put world building also at a 4. But I really liked the difference between the right and the left brain. And then you have that there's a third area that's kind of like your like active thoughts
ascension.
or your like main like
it's closer to the conscious mind.
Yeah, that's what it is, the conscious mind. And I don't know, I thought that all of the different aspects, they were kind of random, but I can also see like that's kind of how my brain works. Everything's pretty random. And there were aspects that were on the right side of the brain that you saw on the left side of the brain, and if you knocked on like certain doors, they would kind of like diss on the way that the right side of the brain interpreted it. So we'll talk about it next week.
This is so interesting. I feel like I didn't catch any of that stuff. Like,
really?
Yeah. So I'm like, I feel like I'm missing out here. You definitely got more of the like remembrance than I did. But I mean, I'm a little disappointed that you need to like get those extra challenges just to understand what's happening. Like, I think that's a little, but I don't think entirely, because I got, I got the music thing from things the characters were saying and things like that, but I totally missed like the aspects that were the same or like mirrors or similar between the left and right brain areas.
Well, and you didn't need to get the memories to see that. What I'm talking about is related to music.
Okay.
I don't know. You probably maybe just didn't like hear. I don't know if you didn't hear like what the lady said. It's hard to talk about it without
just
talking about it. It's the
tell me.
Well, I mean the right side of the brain is, very creative, and there's music constantly playing. You have like different instruments playing the same tune as you walk by. But then you get into the left side of the brain, you do run into like a giant piano.
You do.
When you knock on the door in that of the like giant piano, the woman in there talks about how like music is actually math, and the right brain like doesn't understand. They're more like flippant about.
Okay,
is
sure.
that the right word? I'm always using random
flippant.
words.
Yeah, for sure. Probably.
Yeah, and as someone who was involved in a lot of like choir and music stuff, you can see it from two different points. It can be very left brain or it can be very right brain, just depending on how you look at it. So I just thought that was cool.
Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah, I do like the differences between those, and I think I didn't get this until the very end, But it really is a transition from your subconscious to your conscious mind as like an adult. Like the things you're not really thinking about, and then the things that are more forward in your mind. And so when you got later in the game, the world definitely changed to what is most forefront in your head. And so, we'll talk about later next week about what that looks like, but I gave it a 3.5, because with the memories, it does help kind of explain that world. But I think it took me a while to finally get like, what is this all about? Because I was a little confused too.
Yeah.
Until the very end. And I'm like, oh, I kind of get it now.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, 3.5.
Cool. Well, that was the last portion of our narrative section. Let's move into the presentation section.
Yes.
We'll start with graphics. What'd you guys think of the graphics?
It's a little bit older game. So I'm going to preference with that.
That's crazy that it's old because
Is
it's
it old?
2017.
Yeah.
Oh.
So,
Which I mean,
that doesn't seem old to
technically,
me.
no, it doesn't
No.
sound old, but you're right. Years wise, it's like eight years.
8 years old. Yeah. So as an
Wow.
8-year-old game, I think the graphics were pretty good for that time. I think they were pretty good. It's more of a mechanics thing, I guess, but there's definitely moments where I noticed some slowing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just a little. It wasn't terrible or anything, but just a little. But outside of that, that's more of a mechanics thing. I think it looked all right. 3. I think it looked good for an older game.
I didn't really see any age in it, if I'm being honest. I mean, I know it was an older game, but to me, I thought it was stylistically done that way. And if you look at a lot of their other games, it's just like a style choice, I think.
Yeah, they do
Yeah,
have like
I
an
can see that.
abstract style. So that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Yeah, and I liked it, but again, I think I was just really taken by the charm of this game. I was a little mesmerized, but I gave it a 3.
Yeah.
I'm just such a naysayer.
What?
Do you not like it?
It has a very specific like style to it. Like it's very like illustrated in like colored pencil or watercolory, which I think it does quite well for that. It doesn't appeal to me aesthetically at all. I didn't notice any like slowness. I thought it ran well, but I did really appreciate how there were a lot of moving parts in the environment. Like you'd be on platforms that were made up of different objects, and they'd all like pop up in front of you as you went, which I thought like looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
They played a lot with things like that that were like to keep it visually kind of interesting. But again, it just felt like a lot of like random stuff made up this world, and I'm like, okay, now there's coffee rivers. Okay.
Yeah.
Like it was like a fantastical world that maybe it was too fantastical for me. I guess I don't know,
That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
Cool.
I didn't give a number.
Oh, what was your number?
It was a 2.
2. Okay, that's not
Sorry.
bad. I mean, we gave it a 3. You gave it a 2.
Yeah.
It's all right. And then we'll also talk about sound design and music. And I think I already alluded to loving the sound design and music. I gave this a 5. I just loved it.
Wow.
I know. Well, so I appreciated that when you were walking around, there was a different sound for every single thing that you stepped on.
I noticed that as well.
So it didn't matter like if you were on the grass or on the pencils or on stone or
your footprints were different.
Yeah, your footsteps sounded different. There was like no repeating noises. And like you're talking about when like the bridges and things are like flipping or like rearranging, you got this little like tick, 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 like sounds. And then the whole thing is a musical. This game is a
100%.
musical.
Yeah.
And
100%.
they even joke about it at one point where he's like, we better not sing anymore or this will become a musical.
Yeah.
And I just, I don't know. I thought it was very charming and very adorable. I liked all the songs and the different styles. You guys are looking at me like I'm crazy.
No,
You guys just didn't like it?
I don't know. There were so many things about this game that I'm like, I feel like I'm not the person for this at all.
It's okay.
Again, it just felt like there were so many different things that just didn't seem to mesh well for my brain. Like, it seems so random that you're like this in this cutesy environment, and then you're in a boss battle, and there's like literally screamo happening.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
Like literally
Are you talking
screamo.
about the end?
It happened like the first like little boss fight too. The first like mini boss
really?
fight.
For
Yeah.
some reason missed that because I was like at the end I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
And I just I don't know, just so many random things. Some of the like music as you're going through, I remember like the right brain area, I found like a little bit annoying personally. But then there's this birdhouse that plays this little tune.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like,
Oh,
yeah, I
yeah.
like this little tune. So what's your task? You need to turn it off.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is happening? It's like, why is this like, I feel like, I don't know, parts of this game, I'm like, is this designed to like kind of annoy me? So
What was your score?
I did think that some of the voice acting brought it up for me. So I'm going to give it a 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna go lower than that.
I
That's
don't know.
generous.
Yeah.
I'm nice. I promise.
Yeah.
How about you, Shawn?
I think I'm gonna go with 4. Dittoing a little bit of what you both said. It's a musical, 100%,
Yeah.
and the voice acting and the musical aspect of that is well done. But some of the voice acting did fall flat for me, so that's why it was a 4. So some of it was good, some of it was meh. So
I have to say one more thing. Shawn, you mentioned like the song for the credits
yeah.
is like great. I was not into it at all.
Oh, I really
Oh.
liked that one. I thought it ended it well.
I think it's just like, again, like just something that's like not my style at all.
and you were
so
like so done by the end of it. You're like,
Like,
whatever.
honestly, honestly, yes, I did. I usually sit through the credits, but I was like, I'm not sitting through this. I'm not doing it.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, yeah, no worries. I mean, we all have different tastes.
Yeah.
That's why I like our podcast because we all like different stuff.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
And there is overlap where we've all liked a game for
Uh-huh.
different reasons.
Yeah.
But there have definitely been games that one of us really likes and some people don't really like.
Yeah. And well, I'm glad that it's not all of us feeling like I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all I have to say about that.
Well, that was the last section of our presentation portion. We're going to move into the last numbered rating section. It's gameplay. We're going to talk about content variety and mechanics. So let's start with content variety. Who wants to kick it off?
I thought it was okay. I thought that there's a lot of different variety in what you're looking at. That's for sure. But they actually had a decent amount of little puzzles. For such a short game. There's actually quite a few different sorts of puzzles. Each area had like kind of its theme, and it usually culminated in like combining puzzles in different ways, which I always like. So I thought that was nice. It was like you didn't get stuck on one sort of mechanic for too long. So I'd give it a 4.
Cool.
Yeah, I would fall around the same line, like 3.54. There was a lot of variety between the left side of the brain, the right side of the brain, and the ascension areas. So with all that in mind, I think I'd give it a 3.5.
Yeah, I had also given it, I said somewhere between 3 and 4. So I guess 3.5 would be the number.
Yeah.
I just thought generally it had a pretty good amount of content. It wasn't crazy, but it was also a very short game. So 3.5 I think is appropriate.
Yeah.
And then mechanics. This is the one low score I gave this game is mechanics. I don't know if you guys had issues with this.
Twice.
But
Twice. I had issues twice.
okay.
Okay.
So there's a point you were talking about platforms moving, and there's a section in the right brain where you have to jump from one moving platform to other moving platforms. It's the teeth where you get on and then the teeth moves. Well, see, okay. I know it's random, but when you think about it, you have nightmares where your teeth fall out.
Okay, yeah, that makes
sense. And
sense.
so that's where I thought, because we're in like this creative, like kind of like outlandish side of the brain. When you're having nightmares, you sometimes have nightmares that all of your teeth fall out.
Okay, that's
And
fair.
so
That's a trope. Yeah.
You
Okay.
have teeth
Touche.
falling from the ground or falling from the sky to the ground. And I just imagined, because that was kind of a weapon of the nightmare in that area.
Okay.
That's what I attributed it to.
That makes sense. I fully admit to being a dummy. I was doing this. I'm like, why are teeth falling? Like, what? Why are there so many random things in this game?
I don't know. We'll talk about it
You
next
need to have
week.
a higher IQ to play this game.
I don't know.
I'm a dummy, dude. So
Did you get the teeth thing?
I did not get the teeth
Okay.
thing. Yeah, I was like, oh, there's teeth. Okay,
Well,
whatever. But
and I could be wrong. I don't know. That's
No,
just,
that sounds good. That makes sense.
that makes sense to me.
Anyways, I had to defend the teeth.
Yeah,
But there are moving teeth. And you would get onto the tooth and then it would move to another platform. And sometimes I would get to a point where the game would glitch in a way that I could not get off the tooth.
That's what happened to me too a few times on different platforms.
And I'd be stuck with this platform moving back and forth and back and forth. And no matter where I tried to get off of the tooth, it wouldn't let me. And I would have to like back up and like run from a weird angle and sometimes like glitch onto the other side.
Oh, I don't remember having problems there, but I think that's like I did have similar problems in a different area towards the end of the game. I had problems moving off of platforms and onto other platforms, but I think it's like because of the isometric perspective can make that tricky sometimes, plus the art style where things were a little bit inexact. I think that was a rough combo at times.
Yeah. But I would end up getting off the tooth in the same spot that I was trying to get off over and over again. And it would just like have to hit correctly, just right.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God. So I gave mechanics a 2.
Could that have been a nightmare too in its defense?
Sure. It could have been.
The nightmare where you can't get off the tooth?
My nightmare.
Ever had that one?
It was my nightmare. I'm having it right now. But that it wasn't just that area. That's just the area I remember the most.
Yeah.
But there were a couple other areas. And then I didn't really love the combat mechanics. I thought they were a little bit clunky, but I know that really wasn't the main focus of this game. So
yeah. I would have to agree with 2, dittoing the platforms, because that happened to me also on a few times. And yeah, I had to like roll onto the ledge or try to do whatever I could to get onto the other side. Yeah, the one thing that was frustrating for me too was when I was trying to hit, like, there are certain areas on the maps where there's little health globes.
Oh,
yeah. And if you hit them, then you can get health. And cool, that's great. I would try to do that a few times, and if you were too close to the object that it was hovering around, you couldn't hit anything. So I was like
weird.
Missing, and so I had to like
embarrassing
walk. Yeah, really, like I'm right here, I can't even hit it. So I had to walk away, walk back, and then I could hit it. So that happened a few times. So I'd say 2 for me. Outside of that, it ran well, but yeah, those were the 2 issues I had. So
I think the biggest flaw that this game had was that the mechanics were boring for me.
Yeah.
A lot of the like puzzles were basically just like tedious tasks, like run over there and then run over there and then run back over there and then you can go over there kind of thing. And like the combat wasn't very exciting. I'm really glad you're able to roll in this game for some variety there, but I think that was the big thing. I had a couple minor bugs, one of which I had to restart my game. Actually, 2 of which I had to restart my game for. One of them, like one of the little rats disappeared. But then I couldn't walk past the space where he was, so I was trapped. And then another one, I thought I was doing a puzzle wrong, so I had to look it up, but it turned out it was just glitched because other people were having that problem too. But a reboot of the game fixed that. So there's a lot of different stuff happening in this game. So it's not like my game was crashing or annoying stuff like that. Just some little stuff. But mostly I felt like I was, I've talked about this before, when things feel like filler. And I think it's because of the difficulty. Like if this was more of a challenge, I think I would have felt better about that. But it felt like there was a lot of filler because I could walk in and knew what to do immediately.
Yeah. Yeah. What was your numbered rating?
I don't know. 2.
Okay. All right. Well, that is the last of our numbered ratings, and the last thing we're going to talk about before our final rating is going to be the value of this game. Just as a reminder, this game is $19.99 when it's not on sale, and so that's what we will judge this on. I'm probably lying about the price for iOS. I bet it's cheaper on the phone.
Let's look. Figment is free.
Oh wow!
Is it? Oh, wow. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. It's a free game.
All right. So it's $20 if you want to play it not on your phone, and free if you play it on your phone.
Wow. I got ripped off.
Yeah, I really should have looked somewhere
I think
else.
I got this on a Steam sale or something. I don't know.
I only got it for like a couple bucks.
Yeah, I think I only got it for like $3 or $4. So
yeah. But well, let's first talk about $19.99. How do we feel about that?
No.
Yeah, this felt a little bit like a $10 game max. So I wouldn't pay $20 for it, even though I actually really enjoyed playing it. It's kind of like UFO 50. Like, I really liked UFO 50, but
How dare you?
I know.
Comparing that to UFO 50.
Shoot.
Disgusted.
Well, no, and I meant to talk about this in our last, in our bonus episode, but I don't think I explained the difference because I said it wasn't worth the value for me. But that didn't mean that I didn't really like the game. So I don't know if I'm making any sense. Like, it wasn't worth.
Left brain does not compute.
No! There weren't enough games in UFO 50 for me to pay $25 for it, but I would pay less because I really liked the games that I did like. Anyways, we're not talking about UFO 50. We're talking about Figment. And I think it's worth $10 and that's it.
Okay.
What about free?
Well, it's definitely worth free. I just don't know if I'd like playing this on my phone.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I guess if you want to give it a try on the phone, it's...
See what it's all about.
Yeah. Yeah, but in my opinion, $20 is a little steep.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Try it for free if you want it.
Yeah. For sure. Well, before we close out, let's go ahead and throw out our final ratings. I gave this a 3.8.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
I really
game.
enjoyed it, and I'm really excited to play the second one.
Good.
I think it was right up my alley. I do like plot-driven games. I like puzzles. And sometimes I just don't like to be challenged. I like to just do something that's kind of like fun. And I liked the music. And it was very enjoyable for me. So 3.8.
Nice. Rylan?
Oh.
Do you want me to go?
I had to look at my other ratings. So I was like, wow, what did I rate Firewatch?
Wow. Man, got some strong feels.
I mean, literally, this game wasn't broken. It worked. It was functional. So, and it's obviously for people that aren't me. And I just had a lot of things that kind of grinded my gears with this game.
Sure.
I think a 2.3.
All right.
Worse than Firewatch.
Wow.
Dang.
This is probably your lowest scored
I think
game
so.
then.
Yeah.
Man.
Kind of just, yeah.
That's okay.
I'm really glad you guys liked it more. So, Christy, because I know you were wondering if you should finish playing the game.
I think you should.
I think it depends on if you liked what you've played so far.
Good point.
Because I think it's pretty, like, it's not gonna change your mind, I don't think, throughout the game. Or it didn't change my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun, but there was some things that did grind my gears too a little bit. So not being able to get off a platform sucks, and that's just annoying. So I think I was going to
give
say
it a
3.5.
3.5?
I was going to say 3.5. I think I'm going to go with a 3.2. I thought it was fun, but for a short game, $20. Yeah, I think 3.2. I had fun with it, but there's just some things that were not great for me. So.
Bunch of haters.
That's right.
It's not a hate. I loved
kidding.
on it a little bit, but
no.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I
Well,
might be a hater.
you're a little bit of a hater, but that's okay. That's fine. This concludes the rating episode for Figment. Please join us next week for the discussion episode as we dive into the details of this game and all its hidden gems. You can also listen to Rylan and I probably argue about aspects of the game that
I'll
were
be less
filler.
cranky next episode after I get another LaCroix.
Oh, yeah.
There
yeah.
you go.
And just go grab that LaCroix. I should have bribed you with a LaCroix before.
Yeah.
Damn it. But if you haven't played the game and it sounds like something you might be interested in, I hope you find some time to play it before tuning in next week. Please go and give the podcast a follow, rate it, review it, however you want to show us love. You can email us with any comments, questions, or constructive criticism at letmebeyourgg@gmail.com. You can also send us game requests if there's something you'd like us to review. Just make sure to include game request in the subject line so it's easy for us to find. You can find us on most socials as Let Me Be Your GG with no spaces. That's LetMeBeyourGG, no spaces. And we are on Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. You can find us on TikTok as Let Me Be Your Game Guide with no spaces. And our Patreon can be found at patreon.com/letmebeyourgg. Thank you so much for listening. We can't wait to see you next week. And thank you so much for letting me be your game guide. GG, y'all.
Bye.
Bye. for the next 60 minutes, you'll be hearing an amateur podcast.
Yeah. This has shit in it.
It's got shit in it.